I seriously just got a notification on my phone, just popped up. That's fast, man.
All right.
I seriously just got a notification on my.
We are live. Finally. Right. Got that paused. Well, let's go ahead and just mute that. Play that. Get live. And pop out chat. Is that so fun?
Apparently so.
He's getting quite close to crawling.
To crawling?
Yep.
Was he like 3 years old now?
You're getting there. You're getting there, aren't you?
Sound from behind, but I can't actually tell.
I'm gonna engineer something real quick.
Alrighty.
What is this? There we go. That's a rifle takedown.
Ugh.
Oh, whoops.
Hear Sonic in the background?
Was that Sonic? I heard something. I was trying to think of what it was.
Yeah, my Elliot he's watching a YouTube gameplay video
Ah.
of the new Sonic Racers or whatever that just came out.
Gotcha.
See that creepy doll?
That
That thing has kept me up at night. So many, like, it's right above my head when I sleep, you know? Like, come on now. I woke up in the middle of the night one time and I had a nightmare and I knew that there was something wrong. And I turned on my little light and the doll was sitting on my dresser, like across from the bed. It was like staring into my soul. And it was terrifying.
I imagine so. That's hilarious. So have you watched Detective Pikachu yet?
You haven't?
Have you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good. Because yes, I did. I've seen it. I have still got to see Endgame though. So
I thought you said you were going to go watch it.
I want to go watch it. My wife will kill me if I don't watch it with her.
Oh, I see.
Yes, and she doesn't want to be away from the baby for 3 hours. So,
do you have family nearby?
oh yes, but she doesn't want to be away from the baby for like 3 hours.
Right. Yeah. So my wife, like, she's not a nerd like me.
Yep.
But I told her I wanted to go watch Endgame, and she's like, okay, well, I'm gonna go with you because I said my parents want to go watch Endgame, and she's like, okay, when are you gonna go? And I was like, we were thinking about going today, and she's like, but I'm at work right now, and I was like, yeah, and she's like, but I'm at work right now, and I'm like, yeah. But she goes, but I want to watch it too. And I was like, I didn't think you wanted to watch it. And she goes, I don't, but I don't want to be away from you. And I was like, whatever. Let's see how well my engineered solution works out here.
Is that so?
Hey, Carter. You talking up a storm, duder?
What's really funny is you have a Disney shirt on. I have a Disney shirt on.
Yeah. What I'm talking about.
You said so.
That's close. That'll work.
That works. Don't tell everybody what you've been up to, Chris. You've kind of been somewhat posting on Twitter now and again lately, but other than that, you've kind of been dead in the water.
Yeah, so I just found out not too long ago that I'm going to be teaching robotics next year instead of science. I don't think that means I'm going to change my YouTube channel to Mr. Carrell Robotics, but I have been really busy. I've got a new curriculum that needs to be written. We did the standardized testing. We did all kinds of stuff, and it just has really sapped up my time. And then now it's the summertime, and I'm going to be remodeling my house. I've got a baby on the way. It's going to be born in August, and I've got to get my house completely remodeled and done by the time the baby gets here.
Wow, I didn't even don't even know if I knew that the baby was due in August. That's not that far.
Yeah, the baby's due August 15th, which is a week after school starts. And so we're worried that I'm going to miss the first day of school because I'm going to have a baby. But I'm not going to, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to go to work if I'm having a baby. You know?
Oh no,
My wife goes into labor. I'm going to call my principal and say, I'm out. Sorry. Find a sub.
I completely understand. 100%. Whenever, we were having Carter 6 weeks early.
Yeah.
And I was supposed to be in work on a Sunday. And I texted my boss that Saturday. I said, I'm not going to be at work tomorrow. I didn't say anything else other than I'm not going to be at work tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then I finally texted him back later on after everything was done. Told him what happened. So then, I went down 2:00 in the morning. I was in Springfield because we went up to Bolivar. And that's where we were going to have him. We got there and stuff, and they tried to slow it and stop it. It just wasn't happening. And come to find out that, they don't have a NICU unit there. You had to go to Springfield for that, which was a little surprising considering they pull people in from up north a bit, and apparently Branson itself doesn't even have a NICU. Like, you got to go to Springfield for all that.
NICU is a really specialized unit in the hospital, and so it doesn't surprise me. My wife's a nurse, and she works just on the regular medical surgical floor, but she tells me all the time about the people that have to fly out just because NICU is such a specialized place.
Yeah. But yeah, we had no idea because Bolivar's CMH is a fairly good sized hospital. And they've had places open in different towns. So it's not a small one by any means. So we figured that they would have one without knowing that, But so my wife wasn't able to see him till the next day after we had him, and then we saw him before he left. Then he went down, and I went home and showered real quick because I was go all that day, and I was in my sweaty clothes from earlier. So the only thing I had done was toss on a not sweaty shirt whenever we went to the hospital. And so I actually showered at home, got some stuff packed for me in the backpack, and went to Springfield.
Yep. And how far away is Springfield from where you are?
It's about 30 minutes, give or take, direction and traffic. But at night like that, it's not so bad.
Yeah, 30 minutes isn't so bad. The people that get flown out from here to go to a NICU, they have to go 3 hours.
Yeah. That's not fun. but it's understandable. They drove him down in an ambulance, so that was definitely an experience to have him, and then had to be away from him for so long, and they intubated him on the drive.
And then you didn't see any of that, right?
No, we didn't see any of that.
What about mom? Was she on the ambulance too with him, or no?
No, she was still at the hospital there in Bolivar. She was stuck there till the next day after she got discharged. So my parents are up around there, and her mom was up there, so her mom stayed with her. And I went and got there, is trying to find the actual door to go in, because one of the main doors you couldn't go in. There's a special door for being open at night that you actually go in. Yeah.
Right. Oh yeah, because
And-
it was the middle of the night, huh?
Yeah, it was 2:00 in the morning around there whenever I got there, and was trying to find the proper way to get in and all that. I was a bit of a mess trying to get in. And I finally got in there and had people telling me that, yeah, you gotta go up to this floor. And I'm like, no, it's down to this floor. And it's like, no, it's here. It's there. It's just like, where is the NICU?
Right.
So finally got in there and was able to get into his room, and they were just getting him completely settled in, and I slept there on the couch just facing him, and excuse me, I did not leave his room until close to 4:00 in the afternoon. I didn't go to the restroom or anything. I just stayed there. I was waiting for my wife and her mom to get there because her mom was driving her down.
Right.
So my bladder was dying by that point of needing
Right.
to pee. But I was like, I'm not leaving him. I'm not leaving him. I'm not leaving him. So, I mean, it's just an interesting experience and a difficult experience. It can throw you for a loop for sure.
Yeah.
But
I mean, you can tell everything turned out okay. Cute little airplane kid.
yeah, he's a happy little man who's still trying to figure out all of the things to do and all of his words. He's getting there. He can go mama. Still can't get daddy yet.
Yeah. Well, my son's 18 months, and he says dad all the time, but he doesn't ever say dad to me. He just says dad because he's just jibber jabbering.
Yep.
But sometimes he will. He says things like dad, mama. He'll say outside. He loves to be outside. Man, he knows donuts though. That's how you get him back in from outside. Hey, Isaac, you want a donut? And then he like, oh, donut, and then we can get him to go wherever we want him to go. But
That's funny.
so you got any future plans for your YouTube channel? Got any good projects coming up?
Projects. I've got ideas for projects. It's time to actually do something. My wife's like, here, do this, make this, do this. Kind of, it was just like my list just goes up and up and up and up and up, but I never have time to do it. It's been raining here so fracking much lately. Like, it's supposed to rain pretty much all week this week. That's what they're forecasting again.
I live in Arizona, man. Count your blessings.
Well, it's nice, except for the fact where one of the roads I drive on to go to work has been underwater on a spot for over a week now. It's going on 2 weeks.
Is there a drain?
It's just been that saturated. The ground's that wet soaked that it won't soak that up.
Mm.
So, I mean,
I
it's
was gonna
gone
say, I saw a YouTube video today, man, that has like millions of views where all the guy did was just go unclog a drain in the street. It
down.
could go viral.
Well, this is in the country on a road, so that won't work.
Dang.
And man, that
Dig
water
a
stinks.
trench.
But
Dig
so
a trench.
the water is about half a foot deep, give or take. On the side, if you're going north on it, I think it's closer to a foot than the other side. Oh, no, he's just sat there. But last night, I actually, well, today, I actually drove through it. I was like, you know what, it's shallow enough. I've already seen vehicles go through it that were trucks, and I drive a truck, so I was like, oh, you know what, screw it, I'm going to go through it. If I get stuck, I'm screwed, but it's not that deep to where I can do it. Yeah. Oh, goodness. Choke on your saliva, huh? And so I drove through it, and I don't recommend people do that, especially with running water. This is not any running water. It's just stagnant water, and it's like mosquito paradise because it just sits there.
Right.
You know, good Lord, it stinks badly. Like it's nasty smell. Like you get through it, I'm like driving, I'm like, oh man, this kind of smells. I'm like, I'm gonna get out of it real soon. I get out of it, still driving to work, and I can smell my truck stink.
And it just sticks.
Yeah, I was like, well, I cleaned the underside of my truck with nasty water.
You're welcome, bud. Until you gotta wait for the sun to come out and kill all the bacteria, dry everything out.
Yeah, it's bad. The lake, Stockton Lake, that my wife drives over part of it, and like we'll drive over that to kind of go see when we go to Bolivar and stuff. And I don't even know how full it is, like how much over normal. But like if I looked under the bridge, you'd probably in this spot be maybe 10 feet away from the bridge itself on the bottom. And it's the part where you actually put in on this part, you can see at one point in time, you could see the ramp, still part of the ramp, and then the ramp was underwater. You could still see it in there. Now it's so far up into the parking lot there, you don't see the ramp at all. Like it's way up over the bank. It's up into trees. It's into cornfields. It's just super cool. And I mean, it's nice to have that water in the lake because I've seen them drain that thing so low that you're like, why are they still letting water out? So, because Stockton Lake's a man-made lake, and they let the water out for their little turbine generator. Do not grab my computer. No. He says, I'm going to do Baby Shark. Baby Shark. Do.
Still haven't looked up that video, man. Still haven't done it.
That's all right.
So I've been coming up with some ideas for my YouTube channel.
Yes.
And I went out of town on Saturday. I was at a Goodwill, and I found a bowling ball for $2.50.
Ooh, that's a good
And
buy.
I said, you know what? I have access to some big stadium bleachers. I bet I could drop that bowling ball off the back of the bleachers and just smash stuff with it.
That'd be fun. See that thing bounce.
So I had this idea where my brother and I, because I found out I'm diabetic and he's been diabetic since he was 4 years old, we're wanting to start a YouTube channel that's called the Dia Buddies, because we just like to hang out and have fun or whatever. And we thought it'd be cool to look at like sugar-free candies and diet sodas and stuff, and just do like little reviews, and just like have fun and tell jokes and stuff, because there's a lot of kids that get diagnosed with diabetes that they have a hard time with it, because it's a life-altering disease. And so we decided that it would be really fun to like make some fun videos about being diabetic and how you can be diabetic and still be a normal person, still have fun. And so what we were going to do is get some diet sodas and do like some taste tests, and then we were going to smash the cans with a bowling ball from the top of the bleachers.
There you go.
So, and then I could make like some videos on like levers and stuff, and make like, like a big teeter-totter, put something on it, and then smash one side with the bowling ball and watch the other thing go flying. And
that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that'd be kind of cool. I'll definitely follow you if you guys do that. I'll hopefully be putting some content back out soon. I've got a video to do on making some gears for the ag teacher across the way at the school. So I got to make those, get that done. I've got a couple other things I'm trying to work on, and I've got a book bin to make for him. I've got a baby gate to make, so whenever he's crawling, we can have the kitchen kind of blocked off and not worry about him going through, but also so the cats can kind of go through. So my wife wants me to put in a cat door to it. So
how wide is the gap?
What do you mean?
Like how big of a gate are you gonna need to make? Like 2 feet or 3 feet or 60 inches or?
That's just the door frame, just the size of the door frame. So
we were wanting to buy a baby gate because we have a big like archway that goes into our family room, and we were wanting to buy a gate originally when we had our most recent child, because he always wanted to crawl around everywhere and get into stuff. And so we were wanting to put a big gate in this big archway, but it's like almost 6 feet across, and so you can't find one that size. So I was going to have to try and make one, but I wanted to make it so it was really easy to remove. Just project didn't work out, didn't pan out. I was hoping it was going to be a really big wide gate, and I was going to follow your tutorial.
Well, the tutorial, I mean, you can follow it. It will help. I'm going to make it to where there's slats in it, so the air can flow. I mean, I'm making this thing like 5 feet tall, so the cats can't jump over it, so we can have it closed at night for the cats to stay locked up and keep them out of the living room. And so there'll be about 1.5 feet from the top of the gate to the actual top of the door frame. And then you'll have the slats, which will be maybe that wide or that far apart from each other, to where the cats can't go through there. And then I'll have a little cat door in there as well that we can open up so the cats can go in and out.
Gotcha.
But I'm also thinking about how I want to do the hinges for it. And there's really no good hinge out there how I want it to do. So I'm going to 3D print my own design, and I'm going to use bearings. So I'm going to have it to where I can attach it to it once, like, get it all kind of lined up, the top and bottom and possibly a middle, get them all there. And once I have it marked and screwed in, take the pieces that will actually hold it on, attach them there, then take the gate, have it open, and then set it on it. And the latch part, I'm not sure on the latch. I want to kind of design a kind of a old barn door kind of latch to where it's like the metal ones where you kind of press it like this and it kind of pops up like that, kind of lock. But that you can get from both sides, and I can obviously I can 3D print that, and that will work.
Do they have designs for that already? Or you're gonna have to make them.
I'm not sure. I'll have to look up on that. I've thought about it. I've looked up on like latches themselves, and I was like, well, I'm probably gonna have to design it myself and make it. So I mean, I just looked at buying one from a store, and I could get the ones that actually go sideways, like with it closes like that. It's got the rod that sticks out, and then the latch just kind of clicks it and locks it into place.
Right.
Well, I don't want that because I want to be able to unlock it from both sides. This one, I have it to where it just kind of locks on there. That will be fine.
When I was a kid, we used to tie a string to the top of that latch, and we'd run it through the fence. So if we needed to open it, we just pull the string and it would open.
And that's always good. So yeah, I've got that to do, and constantly got to mow my yard whenever I have a moment. So
yeah, because you live in a place where grass grows, right?
Yep. And my backyard is big. I mean, I can't complain about it. I like having the room and do my garden and all that. But I just got a lot of grass to mow, and my wife can't mow it because she's allergic to grass. So it's just
nice.
So
my backyard is weeds. It's all weeds.
Yeah.
And crabgrass. There's some Bermuda. There's some Bermuda that grows like 15 feet tall and covers my air conditioning unit. But other than that, it's pretty much all weeds.
Yeah, that's always fun.
And a big giant mulberry tree.
There you
go. Yeah. Which is basically
basically what?
Basically a weed.
Yeah.
Because the branches grow like crazy. The only way to like trim it down is you just have to like cut the branches back to like knuckles, so it looks like the Whomping Willow from Harry Potter. And it just looks so ugly. Like I can't handle it, man. It just looks so bad. But the branch, like mulberry trees, the branches are notorious for getting just tangled up and intertwined. The branches grow the wrong direction, and they grow like perfectly straight, and so they just like tangle up with each other. So it's bad.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah. When eventually when I build my own house, I'm gonna have a house that is landscaped properly. But for now, I have 2 mulberry trees, one in the back and one in the front. The one in the back's just overgrown just because the previous owners didn't really take care of it. And that's fine. I can just have somebody come and trim it up every year. But the one in the front, we planted right in the middle of the front door. So like if you look at the front door, you take a picture of the house or whatever, there's a tree right in the middle of the front door. And it's so big around you couldn't hug it. I mean, it is huge, massive. Wow. And so the only way, it shades the entire front yard, but it covers up, it's right in the middle of the front door. So if I was going to do any type of like pavers or landscaping or whatever, it's just right in the way. When there's a big giant section of yard just to the left of it, that would have been a perfect spot to a tree. Like if they had just moved it like 30 feet to the left, it would have been perfect. But they planted it right in the middle of the door, and it's been growing for probably 20 years now. So.
Wow. Yeah, I've got a sugar maple in my front yard, and it shades my front yard, which which is super nice. Yeah. So my front porch is covered, and then it's got the shade from that, so the front porch is nice and cool mostly on most days because you got the shade if you got a breeze coming through, so you don't have to worry about all that sunlight. And I've got a couple of trees on the property, but that's the biggest one I have and the one that produces the most shade. And also, I've got to put gutter guards up in my gutters.
Mm-hmm.
I've got them.
Those aren't too hard to install, though, right?
I don't know. I've never done them before.
Or depends on the style, I guess. But
yeah, I mean, these ones, I think they screw into part of the gutter. Maybe I don't remember. We got them last year, and I've just not been able to put them in yet. I got enough so the garage, the one spot that has that actual gutter, I can put it on that first for the test install. The thing I don't like is over by my driveway, there's the part where the power comes in to my house that I've got to not get myself fried. So it'll be me on the roof leaning over installing my gutter guards there.
oh yeah,
And that just terrifies the crap out of me.
that's not scary at all.
Yeah, considering I went up there when I went to measure the stuff, it was getting dark fast. This was, obviously later on in the seasons where it got dark early. I'm sitting there trying to measure as fast as I can. Go. And so it got dark fairly quick. And I got it pretty much measured for the most part of it. But I'm right there by it trying to measure with my tape measure up on the roof and trying to prevent my tape measure from falling over because you know how they're notorious for not doing what you want them to do.
Right.
And you're trying to put it into the gutter and miss the little rungs in there that hold the gutter, give it its strength. Right. So it kept trying to fall over, and I'm like, if it's going to fall towards that power line, I'm just going to chuck the dang tape measure. I'm not gonna fry over this. Luckily, I got it all measured, and so I'll get that done hopefully this year, and before fall comes, get that knocked out. So all the leaves don't pile up. I had cleaned out the actual gutters in the front. And apparently it was so clogged and in there so much that there was already decomposed leaves in there. It was just mush. And then leaves on top and sticks.
So you should 3D print one of those like sweeper nozzles and attached to your hose that you just hook it on the gutter and you just run it through and it just everything out of there.
I can do that.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. Oh, I've also got to put my new mailbox up too that I 3D printed the letters for, which I need to JB weld to the mailbox.
See, I have so many cool ideas for videos for you because you can actually design stuff. My whole thing is like, drop a bowling ball on it.
Well, if you need me to try to design something, I can kind of work it in my schedule.
Well, so another thing I'm thinking of is I can test infill patterns for strength.
Yes.
By dropping a bowling ball on it.
There you go.
See like which infill, holds up the best or whatever.
Well, and you got to do it from a reasonable height, like 5-10 feet, not 20 to 50 feet high.
We'll see how it goes. I might drop it from like over my head.
Well, yeah, like that would be
to start with.
Yeah, that would be a reasonable testing thing.
You're gonna have to go up top, at some point.
Oh no, I know, but I mean, depending on what kind of thing you do, if say it's a block with an infill, the cube with an infill, that will depend. That depending on how much infill you have, and then the grid pattern for it. That also changes the strength and stuff.
Right.
So obviously, stronger is completely solid. So no one wants
Right.
to bring a
See, and
completely
that's the other
solid
thing too, is
object.
that I want to do a video on the difference between like infill and shells.
Mhm.
So like just increase the outer shells to increase strength and see like if I add one extra perimeter, how much extra strength is that going to give me compared to adding 15% infill or 10% infill?
Yeah.
Because the outer shell, one extra outer shell will probably print a lot faster than if I added 15% infill, depending on the model.
Yeah, depending on the model for sure. I mean, and that's what I said. If you did a cube block, yeah, you would say about that big.
Mm-hmm.
It could print in 8 hours, give or take.
Well, it depends on the infill and stuff.
Oh yeah, that's why I said give or take.
If I printed like a 2-inch by 2-inch cube, that's around 50 millimeters. And so if I did that, I could probably print a 50 millimeter cube, and I don't know, that's pretty big.
Yeah.
I don't know, 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, depends on that. And like my A8, I've messed with kind of the settings while it's printing. I've increased, so I can increase the print time, like the speed on it, so it'll print faster. But I also sometimes have to increase the flow rate for it, so it will print properly.
Well, and so I've noticed I have to increase the flow rate when I increase the layer height.
I can see that.
Yeah. So okay, so here's a question I've got for you. Let's compare. Let's put together two engineering minds and see if we can come up with a solution.
All right.
Senor Baby Head. So I want to make, well, because I'm doing robotics next year, and so I'm coming up with a bunch of different types of robots for the kids to build. That'll be, different units or whatever. And I want to do like a Mario Kart balloon battle.
Yes.
I don't know how to put balloons on the cars yet, only because balloons are not allowed at my school because of latex allergies.
Interesting.
And so I've got to find a way to put balloons on a car that aren't latex. But if I use like the Mylar balloons or whatever, the metal ones, they're not going to pop. And I feel like in a balloon battle, you have to have a satisfying pop,
What if you would get the non-latex gloves and try popping those?
So I thought about that. They have like nylon or whatever it is, gloves. I could try that. I wonder if I could like cut the fingers off and use the fingers as each an individual like mini balloon, so that we can make the robot smaller. Because I feel like the glove might be too big.
Yeah, no, I can see that and agree with that. That might work.
So there's that. And the other thought is, I worry that if I leave it up to them to figure out a way to pop, that they're gonna like bring razor blades to school. And so I'm wondering if I need to come up with implement robots, or if that should just be part of their design process. You've got to figure it out. You can't use knives or razor blades or whatever. You got to figure out a way.
Yeah.
Or should I like pointy thing? Should I just use thumbtack and worry about them driving their thumbtack robots into people's legs?
Yeah. Did you get like a message or something on your phone?
Can you not hear me?
I mean, like whenever he makes a sound, it makes you even quieter. Like it just like all of a sudden kind of the audio went down.
Yeah, you're getting real quiet too.
That's a little better.
Well, it's because I put it right next to my face.
I heard a chime sound and
Yeah, my wife was calling me.
okay.
I didn't want to tell you that because now all of YouTube knows that I ignored a call from my wife. So I'm gonna end the call and then I'm gonna join again.
Okay.
See if that fixes it.
Okay.
Peace.
Is that so? Is that so? Let's wait for Chris to rejoin.
Hey, there we go.
There we go. There you are.
You got audio back now? Yeah, I can hear you, but way better now.
Oh, good. Yeah, like he was on the ground making sounds, and it's like all of a sudden, like he'd make a sound, and I could not hear you. Oh, don't do that. He threw himself forward and headbutted my laptop. So.
Oh yeah, that sounds like my kid.
He's not crying.
Well, last night he was up from 1 a.m. till 4 a.m. He would not go to sleep. So I made a middle of the night run to McDonald's, got some chicken nuggets, and he snacked on some chicken nuggets for a while. And then he fell asleep, and I laid him down. It was great. And I went to go lay down in my bed, and he woke up, and he was up again. So I had a bit of a long night.
I understand that.
Yeah.
At least you didn't have to go to work.
That's true. That's one of the perks of being a teacher. Although I did get a phone call today from my father-in-law. He is an eye doctor, and sometimes I'll help out in his office and do vision therapy.
Yeah.
And the lady who does vision therapy for him had to have surgery, and so he needs me to fill in for her for the next 3 weeks.
Wow.
So I will have a job. Yeah. I feel it, Carter. I feel you, man.
I'm gonna go set him in his swing real quick. That should fix the problem.
Okay. Is there anybody in the chat? Is there anybody in the chat? Have you seen?
No. So yeah, nope. See no one in chat. Oh, stretch my leg up. Well, my brother got married. Was it the last weekend? Weekend before that?
I saw your post on Twitter.
Yeah. So he got married that Friday of the 24th. And so they had people go out on the dance floor and do slow dance. Well, the slow dance was kind of, you go clockwise, kind of like that. Yeah, jacked my hips back up. They instantly just started hurting. And I've been dealing with that ever since.
Did you tell your wife I can't dance with you anymore?
So yeah, it's just been killing me. So last night my hip, I went to go to the restroom at work, and I shifted, after I got into the bathroom, closed the door, and my hip just kind of did this loud crack, and it hurt so bad. that now my right hip, kind of that joint, I've been dealing with it hurting ever since then.
Gotcha.
So, so that's, I mean, this is obviously something that's making it hard for me to do stuff. I actually had to mow Saturday, and I was hurting. Usually I've got it to where I had, since my accident, I would kind of like roll off of the mower to make it easier for me to get off of it and be upright. That was hurting me. But I couldn't do that. I mean, getting on or off just sucked, period. But I had to mow the yard.
Man, must be rough having a riding lawnmower.
Ugh, well, it would be a lot rougher if I didn't, because mowing my backyard would suck, because I got an acre of a yard, and most of that's my backyard. Usually my front yard, I try to mow it every other week just because of that.
Mm-hmm.
And Saturday, we were going to go do some stuff. So it was wet from the dew whenever I mowed it. So I had to mow slow, and it took so long. And so the longer it takes, like whenever I mow slower, it kills my gas on my mower. So I had to put more gas in it just to finish mowing the front yard. So I guess I could have tweeted out that we were live. That doesn't matter. I picked up at a garage sale a couple of things. One thing was this little beauty.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Nice.
a little compound bow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna well, so I can target practice out in the yard. Gotta get some arrows for it, but also I'm gonna do it so I can bow fish with it.
Oh, you're gonna bow with a compound bow?
Yep. I'm gonna get a reel that goes on it, mount it to it. Then I was thinking about 3D printing and mounting a GoPro thing for it, so I can have my GoPro mounted to it.
I think you should try 3D printing all kinds of stuff. Arrow shafts, fletchings, like all kinds of stuff.
I can definitely see fletchings. The shaft would be the harder part because one, I don't have a huge printer, so I'd have to put them together, and I would need to print them lengthwise, laying down on the bed from corner to corner to get a good length to it. And I'd have to have it set so I can put like a screw to hold them together.
So I'm saying it'd be 3 pieces so that you could easily swap out the tip and easily swap out the fletchings, and then you could just try different styles or whatever, and it'd be easy to take it off, put it back on, because you'd have a little thread in there. Or you could even maybe use like a dowel pin or something. Yeah. And just glue it.
You should set your swing properly. Here.
I looked over and he was like leaning sideways. Probably
like,
supposed to.
Hey, Dad, how's it going?
Yeah, so he was messing. It's got this back padding part. It's got like ears on it, and so he was like over here. It's going like this. Yeah, I saw you. So I picked that up. Then I also got something that Calvin would enjoy. I picked up a train set for $5. So that bow was $10, and I talked the guy down to $5. I spent a whole $10 at garage sales.
Man, that's almost as good as my $2.50 bowling ball.
And so I picked up a train set for like a Christmas train set to go underneath the tree for $5. And I mean, I've been looking for one. I wanted to get a Harry Potter one, but those things are stupid expensive to try to find.
That's why you got to make it, man.
I know.
Just
But-
3D print a bunch of like Hogwarts emblems and stuff, and just like super glue them on the side. No one will ever know the difference.
But looking at it and seeing how the little carts underneath for the stay on the track, how those move and all that will give me ideas so I can actually 3D print my own. Because I'm thinking about possibly this would be another project to do. I got to get more filament for, but 3D printing my own train. Obviously, I've got a boatload of motors that I do stuff with anyway. So just got to get one in there, and just depending on the amount of the battery that I use for it, or say I have an inductive tract where it will, just flip a switch and it just runs it that way.
Hey, listen. I hear some ideas that are like similar here. You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
Because I think we're on the same page here, man. Well,
Okay.
I want to make that slot car thing so bad. I'm just real lazy.
So if I get that going, like either way like that, I could 3D print the tracks. I mean, Calvin's, he's got a bunch of trains stuff out there anyway. I can probably, scrounge some stuff from him to 3D print all those files.
Right.
Like E-models, maybe he'll, be kind and just share them with me so I can 3D print.
Maybe. Well, he has a store, I think.
Yeah, but I've got a baby, so affording stuff is a little hard for me right now.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I don't know.
So I mean, I wouldn't mind paying him. It's just hard to do that right now.
Yeah.
Like, why are you paying someone for train files?
Yeah. Well, I don't think they're that expensive. They're only a couple bucks, I think, a model, but depending on how many models you wanted, I guess.
Yeah. Well, then, so I'll have to design the track. I want to design a track, and I want it to be a fairly decent sized train, And I want to print the track and get the track to go all the way around up above in my office.
Oh, that would be sweet.
So I can turn the train on and it can just go around up above. I was like, ooh, completely 3D printed train to do that. That would be pretty cool. So
that would be so cool.
It will require a lot of filament. So if anyone wants to send me filament for that project, I will gladly take it.
You gotta appeal to some of these stores out here that are on Twitter that we see all the time.
Yep.
Maze 3D, stuff like that.
Yeah. I need to hit 3D Gloop up and try to go out there and see them sometime.
All right, because they're in Missouri, right?
Yep, they're in St. Louis, so it's about a 3-hour trip for me just to get there.
Yeah, but that's not that bad. Like I said, I have to go 3 hours to get anywhere anyways. I went out of town 3 hours away twice this last week.
Wow.
We even made a day trip.
I imagine so. Well, see, the problem I have is my wife would want to go with and, possibly do the zoo out there in St. Louis, because the zoo there, to go into the zoo is free in St. Louis.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice.
That's really cool. But sorry, she's literally just texting me. She was asking how the day's going. I don't know where 3D Gloop is located in St. Louis in comparison to the zoo, but I mean, I would like to go see their factory, their setup. Kind of do a little video for YouTube.
That'd be cool. See, I went to go see Matter Hackers. It's been a couple months ago. I went to Matter Hackers and I walked in. They gave me a whole tour and stuff, and I was too shy to film everything. But man, I wish I had.
Yeah. Do you know who Joe Mike is?
Yeah.
J JM
JMT.
JTM,
JMT. Joe Mike Ter
whatever his last name is. Yep.
Nutella for
Yeah, he's actually in Missouri. He's in Kansas City.
nice.
So, and I guess Chris Riley is in Iowa, Indiana, not Indiana, Iowa. Idiots out wandering. So yeah, I think he's in Iowa or northern Missouri-ish area.
I've been to Kansas City.
I'm actually
I,
from up by there originally, so I've got family up there.
I went on a church history tour, and we went to Independence, Missouri.
Yep. Actually,
And
that's where I think Joe Mike lives, is around Independence.
really,
Yep.
yeah, I've been to Independence, Missouri, and Kansas City. I've been a few places. I probably go right by your house, man. Didn't even know.
Well, where I'm originally from is Adrian, so Harrisonville, which is south of Independence. So Adrian is south of Harrisonville.
Well, I think I went to Independence in like 2004.
Oh, wow, that would have been
It's been a while.
2004 would have been when we moved down towards Springfield, my family.
Because you were still in high school, probably
I was 18.
18. I was 16.
Oh, did you see the picture I posted up on Facebook the other day?
Which one?
Uh,
I'm not ever on Facebook, man. My wife
okay.
posts stuff all the time. I'm never on Facebook.
So the 29th was my anniversary.
Happy anniversary, man.
So it's been 9 years, which is also a funny story. So I'm 9 years older than my youngest brother, and he got married 9 years after me because he got married the 24th. We got married the 29th.
So he almost exactly 9 years after you got married. That's cool.
So this is me 9 years ago.
Oh, what a nerd.
Yeah, look at that pale face and that goatee.
I love it, man.
Yeah, so that's me from 9 years ago. And then my lovely wife, who is obviously a foot shorter than me.
And hasn't changed a bit.
No. I told her the other day, I was like, you've not changed a bit. I have completely changed. Like my face, everything. Of course, the beard helps, and I don't like not having the beard because you get a baby face. And obviously, you saw the video of the the reception for my brother's wedding. The last one who jumped in with the cowboy hat was my youngest brother who got married, and his face is just a big baby face.
Let's see, I got married. It's going to be 9 years in October.
Wow. Awesome, man.
I think. I'm pretty sure. 9 years in October, I'll have been married. Actually, I have a picture. I'll show you. You showed me yours. I'll show you mine.
Isn't that how it usually goes?
Yeah.
So yeah, people were able to see on Twitter and stuff the kind of the video that I posted. I didn't actually post any photos. Are you ready for this, Chris?
Oh, I'm ready.
This is what I looked like.
Hey there, cowboy.
Yeah, and then that's my youngest brother who got married. So I don't know, pretty good looking there, I think.
That's not bad, man. Here's me when I got married.
Look at that little man.
Yeah, I weighed like
A pound?
I think I was at 160. think I weighed 160 in that picture.
I think
And then
I think whenever I got married, I was like 185, maybe.
Mm-hmm. I weighed 160, and then I was working at the garden center at Home Depot, and so I was like loading up pavers and concrete stuff all day long, and I was pretty fit, pretty strong. And then they moved me inside the store where I didn't do nearly as much physical activity,
Yep.
and I weighed. Let's see, by the time I left Home Depot, I was up at like, I don't know, 220. And then being a teacher where I don't do anything all day long, right? Because teachers don't do anything. I got up to like 260.
Yeah.
And then since then, I think I've lost like, I got up to like 260, and right now I'm at 191.
Hey, you're lighter than me, man.
Yeah, I'm not trying to get lighter. I just am just like falling off for no reason, which is real scary.
Yeah, of course. Lately, I've not really. He was leaning over again, so I had to strap him up with the shoulder straps. Obviously, my hip has really screwed everything up on my doing a lot of things that I normally would do. But also, my work is I'm indoors the entire time, so I sit and stare at TVs.
In the middle of the night, where the only thing you can do to keep yourself awake is drink soda and eat snacks, right?
Well, usually.
I feel you.
Are you referring to Jimmy's stream?
No, I couldn't make it that one. I was out.
Okay.
I don't remember what day it was, but I remember wishing I could be there, but I couldn't.
It was last Monday, so it was. I had gummy bears. Well, I had the Harbor Rose. It was the Star Mix, and some Dr. Pepper. So I was eating and drinking that, and someone commented on like diabetes or something like that.
No, that was my birthday.
Okay, that's right.
So that was my birthday. I was out of town.
So
Yeah.
yeah. Coming up, I don't know if it's this week or next week. We've got training that we're gonna switch operating systems for our our playlist, which I've used this operating system we're going to whenever I worked at the other television station, but that was 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I can remember some stuff, like how to set a clock trigger and a couple other things, but not a whole lot.
So what kind of like education did you have to get to be able to do your job? Any?
I have this much education for it.
So you have that much education for it, or you have that much education, period?
Period.
Oh, really?
I've got a GED. I was homeschooled. That's all my education I have.
Nice.
Which is funny because, I mean, I was a corrections officer for a couple of years, and going from there into television, because I had the the knowledge of and the capability of working with computers and learning fairly quickly on programs and stuff. And I forget what the actual name is called, but I tell everybody it's monkey see, monkey do. That's how I learn. I'm a visual learner. And there's the actual name for it. Like my wife told me the actual name of it a couple times, and it just doesn't stick because I never really say it.
Right.
But I learn really well visually, and so I get all that information, and I just kind of, if I do it, I can learn it, and kind of just trial by fire as it's said in the industry. So you learn when you get burned. So
They just push you out of the nest, man.
yep. So because I had done some with some programs there for the corrections at the jail that I worked at, so it's a special one that you had to learn and do all this. Oh, excuse me. So that was kind of an easy jumping into other stuff like that.
Right.
So I finally got into there and learned the program and all that they had, which was stressful because I had never done anything like that. It's a playlist and you got money on the line that you're trying to make sure your spots air. That people
Right.
Hey, BB3D. Yeah, you
Brian.
should be sorry you're late. I was expecting you forever ago, Brian.
You know, Brian's the reason why I came up with that slot card track idea.
Oh yeah.
That was his idea, and ever since he said it, I've been like, it's just been going in my brain. So props to you, Brian. I'll make sure I give you credit when I make the video in 5 years when I eventually get around to doing it.
Brian goes, okay, I'm happy I'm late. This is the face he put, the little
Emoji.
he says thanks. Awesome. Haha.
All right, Brian, since you solved my other engineering problem, I got another one for you. Here you go.
All right.
So I want to make some robots that I want to make some balloon popping robots. Well, like the kids are going to use their Lego robot kits to make balloon popping robots, and I got to figure out a way. Should I leave it up to them to figure out how to pop the balloon, or should I give them a way to pop the balloon so that it's safer, so they're not like driving pushpin and razor blade robots at each other's ankles?
Well, first, Brian goes, wow, this text-to-speech thing is really cool. I think you should 3D print something that will pop it. Or there's another solution. You heat up filament. So the filament, you stretch it. And then you take it away from the heat and you let it cool. So then you have kind of like a little thin needle.
Like a sharp point.
And see if that will pop them.
So another thing I could do is I'm planning on using Tinkercad, like teaching the kids how to do their own like CAD design Tinkercad. I could have them design something. So they have to the thing that pops the balloon has to be designed and 3D printed. So they have to design it and then I'll just print it for them. Because part of this new job is they actually gave me 2 3D printers with my classroom. They are Robo C3s.
Oh, so you're gonna mess with the Robo? Just don't let Barnacles know.
Well, did you see that video that Joel Telling made on the Robo 2, the Robo R2s?
I think so. I've seen.
He had like a bunch of bent Z screws, and he was having to replace them and fix them. I think eventually he just gave it away, but it was not good. And these are like $1,000 printers that I'm like, why didn't you guys consult me before you bought these?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Understandable. So Brian says, so let me see. You could just use a small length of filament and cut at an angle with a point at the end.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's easy.
Says now you still run a risk of someone getting poked with the piece of filament, but filament is less pointier than a push pin.
Right.
It's very true. Yeah.
See, that's the thing that was like, but should I be giving them that in the first place, or should I leave it as part of their design process?
Yeah, that's...
I want to make them do as much work as possible. You know what I mean? Like I can help them, but I my goal with this robotics program is to make them design and engineer everything that they make.
No, I agree. Brian goes, okay, I see. I would you try that with that filament, kind of do the angle cut, see how that works. You heat it up and stretch it and see the different strengths of like the finer points of it. Excuse me, to see which one's going to be effective on popping, so you can tell them on like kind of show them on the angle or whatever, like the how blunt the object needs to be or how that will pop it.
So what I think I may do is leave it up to them to design and engineer it, and then on the day of our, balloon popping, whatever, if they still haven't come up with something, I'll just take a piece of filament, snip it off, and just like electrical tape it onto the end of their robot, just so that they can participate, but they'll just lose points on it.
Yeah. So one thing, Brian asked some questions. So it's balloon robots for popping, but he can actually not take balloons because there's the latex allergies in the school apparently, so he can't take those. So he's looking at possibly the gloves. So Brian said, well, do you want to guarantee that when the device impacts the balloon will pop? Or do you want them to have some successful ones and some sort of
See, that's the other thing too, is
but insufficiently bad at the balloons? You could have two categories: pop the bot and fail bot.
well, yeah,
You'll
so
lose points if you have to provide the point. Yeah, that's exactly what you were saying.
So okay, so now you're giving me a new idea. So I could have two different because it'll be one unit.
Yeah.
But then we'll have two different challenges within the unit. So the first challenge, maybe I will have a robot that has balloons on the back, and we're gonna make like a little course. It's gonna be like a Mario Kart balloon battle.
Yes.
And so if I make a little robot that just drives around and just has balloons on it, and then it's their job to try and pop the balloons. And then for the second part of the challenge, they will maybe the first part of the challenge is design something that can pop a balloon that you can attach to your robot. And the second part would be, now you have to design a way to attach balloons to your robot.
Brian said, should I just jump in here? So I sent him the link invite.
Heck yeah, you should, because I'm going to have to go in a little while.
So let's see if he jumps in here real quick. You've got the invite, Brian. It's sent to you via Twitter.
Brian, don't jump. Use the internet. Let the internet help you. Thanks for reading out the chat, by the way, because I can't see it.
Not a problem. Hey,
Brian.
hey, I know where you are. That kind of room looks very familiar.
I was gonna
hold
say,
on. Now
like
I gotta go mute the stream because I'm getting echo there. Okay. There. Now I don't have an audio stream that's kicking in 40 seconds behind this one.
Is that a server room, Brian?
It is. Let me unplug the laptop. There. There's the full 360. And I can go around the other side too. I'll have to turn the lights on.
That looks much better than my server room that I have to deal with.
Hey, I have stuff. From there down, battery backup.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Gives me about an hour.
Oh, good Lord. Only an hour?
Yeah. I've got a ton of crap here.
Well, I imagine that, but still, wow.
An hour is not bad for an entire server room. What I would really like to have would be like a diesel generator or something out back.
Oh no, I agree. I would love a diesel generator at my work, which we don't have, which you think we would be in broadcasting.
That's
Part-time broadcasting.
that's not a slight towards anyone, is it, Aaron?
Well, see, the previous television station I worked at, we had a generator backup. We actually had in a room inside, being outside, we had, was it 10 or 15, not 15, but around like 5 or 10 flywheels, pretty much is what they are. So you got these individual units stacked side by side, and they spin. So that spinning is a buffer because it's constantly generating that electricity still while it spins. So it gives that time that you lose the power that the generator can cook on.
Okay.
And that way their lights won't jump out or anything.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to drop out and come back in because I got another phone call.
All right.
Okay.
I'll be back.
His wife did that earlier. She goes to call him, and he had to drop out because the audio, like you couldn't hear him and he couldn't hear us.
Hey, honey, what you doing? Well, not streaming anymore. That's one of the things that infuriates me about my phone is if I'm using my phone to record video and a phone call comes in, I'm no longer using my phone to record video. Even if I don't answer it,
Yep.
it has to completely cut off what it's doing.
Yep. That it does.
Pisses me off. So I tend to put my phone in
Do not
airplane
disturb.
mode.
Yep. Looks so angelic there, Brian.
There. That
Well,
better?
you still do because you got that glow on your head.
Got that high pro glow.
Hey.
Hello, person.
Oh. So, well, how's everything going in Texas?
It's fine. Kind of warm. Apart from that, I guess it's okay.
Yeah.
I wish it would rain more.
I would send it to you guys. I would send the rain to you guys if I could.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was telling him I need some rain over here, man.
Yeah, we're supposed to get rain like all this week.
I think it is. It's supposed to rain here, though. Let me check my forecast. Yeah, it's supposed to rain Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Rain. I hope we get some summer rain soon here because we're just in a drought, man.
We need to have a nationwide system of water transport pipelines. So when you have areas that are completely flooding, you can pump that stuff over to areas that are completely drought ridden.
That's actually what I was thinking just the other day, Brian.
It'd be like the canals on Mars that never really were.
Yeah.
I agree.
I'm going to lay the baby down real quick. Be right back.
Okay, bye. Thanks for joining us.
Bye. Where do you say he was going?
I don't know. Out? Gotta go get a burger or something?
Burger. Bring me one too, Aaron.
None for me, thanks. I'm full.
So where are you at, Brian?
I am in San Antonio, Texas.
Texas, man. Hey, so I got invited to go to Texas A&M
Okay.
and participate in a STEM education program.
Okay.
And they said if I live in Texas, it'll cost me $20,000, and if I live in Arizona, it'll cost me $40,000.
Okay.
So the lady in the program said Find somebody you know that lives in Texas and just use their address.
Can you use a PO box?
I don't know. That's a good idea, though.
Where do you live? PO Box 123. You live in a PO box? Yes, I'm very small.
Well, you got to do what you got to do. You help your family survive. Some people live in a cardboard box. I live in a PO box. It just happens.
Welcome back, Aaron.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that was a quick trip to the drive-thru.
Well,
I see.
Baby Cam 3000.
yeah.
Does he fall asleep on his own, or?
Well, he was in the swing. I looked over. His eyes were barely open.
You need to hack it so you can push a button on your remote that you're viewing him with to play the sound in his room. I'm watching you, Wazowski. Always watching.
Actually, I can actually press the button and speak into his room.
Okay, well then you just got to do the Roz voice.
So what was that I walked in on? You're saying like 20,000 in Texas and 40 in Arizona?
Oh yeah. So I've been looking at doing a master's program because I'm a teacher for some reason. I thought it was a good idea to get lots of education to make no money. And so I'm looking at my master's program. And I found a really good program in Texas that's at Texas A&M. It's a STEM education course that basically it's all about there's a class on how to make a makerspace in your classroom. There's a class on how to use 3D printing in a regular classroom. There's all kinds of really cool stuff. But it costs like $40,000 to do the master's program at Texas A&M because I'm a non-Texas resident. But if I lived in Texas, it would only be $20,000. And then because of there's all kinds of grants and stuff for teachers who are continuing their education, there's a debt forgiveness program that'll refund. They'll forgive up to $17,000 in student loan debt. And so basically, if I could somehow figure out a way to pretend like I live in Texas to take the online courses, then I could get my master's program for $3,000.
Okay, I can see that.
What do they need in order for you to prove residency?
I don't know, Brian. I was just messing with you, man.
Like, utility bill or something, probably?
Well, usually.
I don't know. Because I don't know if they have to send. They might be able to send the mail to me, but then just use the other address just for proof of residency or something. I don't know. But it's an online program. That's what's so frustrating is it's an online only program.
Why would it matter? It's like there's not like a firewall at the edge of Texas.
Yeah, but it's just, I don't know. It's just kind of dumb.
Yeah. So Chris was asking me on my education that I had, Brian. How much do you think I have?
I don't know. Half an hour's worth?
Well, are we counting the hours spent watching YouTube videos?
That's the ongoing education.
Yes, that's
because
ongoing.
That's arguably a better education than you can get in most colleges. I'm just saying.
So yeah, because we're talking about in broadcasting and stuff. He asked how much education I have to be in broadcasting, and I said I've got this much education. None whatsoever.
For most things, it's not what you know; it's who you know.
Well, and it's actually kind of what I know to get in broadcasting. Actually, it was being that I can learn programs fairly fast and that I'm fluent in computers. That's literally how I got into broadcasting, is knowledge on computers and stuff.
Well, alrighty then.
Was that?
I said alrighty then.
So, which is funny because a lot of the people I work with have gone to college to do what they're doing.
they went to college and they took a whole bunch of English courses that they're not using, and a whole bunch of.
They've actually gone to college for broadcasting and spent money for broadcasting.
Yeah, but I mean, the entirety of that education could probably be done in a single semester.
Oh, probably.
If you didn't have to do all of the other four or 2 years or whatever of all of the other things that come with. I went to college.
Yep.
Yeah, my bachelor's program to become a teacher. I did my associate's program. They taught you like how to write lesson plans and how to not necessarily how to teach, because I don't really feel that it's possible to learn how to teach someone. But we learned like about lesson plans and how to like organize your day and organize your time and stuff like that. And then I got to my bachelor's program, and I'm pretty sure that I spent 2 years of my life just drawing pictures and writing poems. Yeah. And I really felt robbed of an education, but because I'm a teacher, because we don't make a ton of money, it's like I can't afford to go to, Texas A&M, for example, and do that STEM education program because it costs $40,000. Where am I supposed to get that much money from? And $40,000, the amount of money extra that I'm going to make, like the amount of money that they are going to give me more because I took this class, is only going to be maybe $1,000 a year. And so it's like, I'm not taking this course because I want to make more money. I would be taking this course because I want to be a better educator.
Yeah. When the break-even point is 40 years from now.
Right. Yeah. And that's the thing is, like, if I can figure out a way to finagle this whole, like, okay, they're gonna forgive $17,000 of my student loan debt, plus, I can somehow swing in-state tuition, then it would probably be worth it to me. Just not because I'm not going to make a lot more money, but I'd be more comfortable doing that, knowing that from that education I would be a better teacher. And with my bachelor's program, I just don't feel like I am a better teacher today because of that extra 2 years of college that I went to.
Yeah.
I feel $17,000 poorer.
That's how it goes.
Well, find out what they need for proof of residency or whatever.
Yeah, I need
If there's something I can do from here, let me know.
Well, I have some cousins that live in Texas, I think, too.
Okay.
So, but I've been thinking about it for a while, but it's just one of those, like, of all the colleges that I've looked up, this is the program that most suits my interests. And so this is the program that I would like to do, but it's like one of those dreams. There's another program that I found that's all online. That's only $17,000, and it's a STEM education program too, but their classes just aren't interesting to me. So
I think I hear a small human.
Yeah. It's time for me to go.
All right.
Okay.
So,
Bye.
All right,
see you
Chris.
guys.
See you later.
Peace out.
So now it's just me and you, Brian.
And then there were two.
So.
Well, now what? Change the title to the stream.
And Brian.
Oh God.
You got any good projects coming up lately?
Well, I ran out of time to work on my video for this week. Dealing with a kitchen faucet and a few other things around the house. So I'm hoping I can get that one going. It's a Tinkercad design and build project, so
okay,
that'll be fun. And it involves thermoforming plastic, so there will be hot water involved to soften up a PLA part to form it into a specific shape. which will save time over printing it in that shape. So that'll be
That'd
fun.
be interesting.
Yeah. I'm waiting for an operating system to what the hell? Did that really just F up the display? It's all porked. Wow. I've never seen that happen. I was wiping dust off of an LCD screen and the image scrambled where I was wiping it.
Oh, I've seen that.
I was barely touching it.
Well, how old's that monitor?
I don't know, probably about 6 years, maybe 5.
Yeah. I mean, definitely older monitors have been more prone to that. So,
Weird.
well, I was telling Chris that I had gone to a garage sale. I got a couple of things. I got a compound bow for $5, and I got a Christmas train to go around my Christmas tree for $5 as well.
Okay.
Over the weekend, I spent $10.
And got stuff.
Yep.
You can print new cars for your Christmas train, too.
That's true. The train would make sounds, but it wouldn't move. I was like, well, I am me. I tinker with stuff, so more than likely I can fix that problem. If not, it was $5, and I can fix it another way and get it to move.
I'm sure you can get an Arduino and load some sounds onto it and have it play them back at random times or something.
Oh, yeah.
There's a bunch of inputs on it. You can have an infrared receiver, so you could have a push-button soundboard kind of thing, and press 1 for ho ho ho, press 2 for chug chug chug, press 3 for whoop whoop.
So yeah, I mean, I could do stuff like that to where it would modify it completely, and but I'm gonna see what the problem is. It's either a wiring problem, because I looked at it yesterday. Right on the side, there's a little switch that you push back and forth to go forward or backwards.
Uh-huh.
It's like, well, it could be that there's a piece of plastic in there that's broken.
Right.
The wiring the soldering for the wire could have not been the greatest and come undone. The motor could be shot. If it's the motor that's shot, I've got plenty of other backup motors from all the other stuff I've taken apart over the years that I could replace it with and all that. So I'm going to do a little video on fixing that. I said, Calvin would probably like this because it's a train.
Yep.
You
could get his help. He's trained in that sort of thing.
Yes, he is. Dad joke.
Classically trained.
What do you call a fake pasta?
What do you call a fake noodle? An impasta.
Yeah. Yes, fake noodle is impasta. Why did the coffee call 911?
I don't know why.
Because it got mugged.
Why do you call a deer with no eyes?
Why is the sand wet?
Is the sand wet?
Because the seaweed. Dead jokes.
Previously on the Dad Joke channel.
But I can print expanding track for it.
Yeah.
I can do that.
You could have 2 Christmas trees and have the track go in kind of a figure 8 or a peanut shape between them, or you could get multi-level tracks. You could have a spiral track that goes halfway up one tree and then goes across to the other tree and comes back down.
That'd actually be pretty cool.
And each of the cars could be an ornament.
Yeah, or have at least where it goes up, starts to go up the tree, and then there's a spot where it goes down, back down, and kind of back up.
Ooh, the double helix.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Tree in A.
But I was telling Chris that I would love to get files from Calvin if he'd send me some for free. and 3D print some of his model trains that he's done. I want to do a 3D printed track around the office by the ceiling.
Okay.
So I can have an inductive track, or just where I can just turn the thing on and then turn it off from just the train itself somehow, and just have the train, all fully 3D printed train and track to just go around the top of the office.
Would it be easier if you simply had a battery operated train?
It would be easier, but
You know, like if you're going to do like one of the, like a steam locomotive, then take the coal car and have the coal car be the battery pack.
yeah. Well, and that's the thing. Like, I'd still have to have a way to turn it off. I'd have to like reach up there and turn it off instantly,
Yeah.
which wouldn't be that hard to do. I mean, it'd be turning it on, turning it off. Be fairly simple.
Have an infrared on-off control so that you could stop it and start it.
Yeah, like with
So that you're not trying to get up on a chair and catch it as
Yep.
it goes past.
Yep.
You could at least stop it with a remote and then turn it switch off
Yeah.
so that it's no longer drawing power. In fact, if you wanted to, you could probably have if you build the battery pack into the coal car, you
Yep.
could have that as a two-piece unit where you could simply lift the coal part off of the platform of the car and just have like a pair of contacts on the bottom of that.
Yeah.
Just have it sit in place or possibly magnetically attach. So you can reach up and grab it and throw it on charger if you need to.
I can do that.
Have two of them. One is always charged, ready to go.
Yeah. That is it's funny you said the Christmas train. That's actually kind of how it's set up.
Okay.
The coal train has batteries in there, and there's a cable that goes into the back and plugs into the actual train, the locomotive itself. So yeah, that'd be perfect for that.
We have 4 people watching, it says. Hello, everybody.
Oh wow, I didn't know we had people watching. I mean, I've got this up to where, you know, it's just Hangouts, and I've got the chat up, so no one's said anything. So other than you, I have no idea.
It was the only one. Well, I think there was only one watching when I got in. that may have been you keeping an eye on chat.
Yeah, probably.
So the second one is me. I've got chat popped out so that I can have chat next to the screen here.
That's exactly what I did for mine. So
But nobody is saying anything.
that's all right. We'll just be dads and do dad jokes.
What do you call a deer with no eyes?
What?
No idea.
What do you call a dog with no legs?
Doesn't matter what you call him. He isn't going to come.
Yep.
What do you call a deer with no eyes and no legs?
No idea.
Still no idea.
Hey, Nancy.
Hi, Nancy. Woo.
Did you hear about the kidnapping in the park?
Huh?
Did you hear about the kidnapping in the park?
That's okay. He woke up.
Yep.
Sorry, I know all these.
I'm not surprised, Brian. I'm not surprised. What do you call a blind dinosaur?
What do you call a blind dinosaur? I don't know. Tell me.
What do you call a blind dinosaur's dog?
What do you call a blind dinosaur?
Euthyngosaurus Rex.
All right. So remember when I said that I had switched out this display? I don't know that it's actually doing anything anymore. I may have transmitted a static charge through the display, through the HDMI cable, down to the computer, and somehow halted the operating system installation, which kind of makes me sad. So I'm going to give that another couple of minutes, and if that, yeah, I'll put a post-it note on the screen so that I can see if the progress indicator has moved. And if it has not moved, I will hold the power button down, turn it off, turn it back on. Have you tried turning it off and on again? Yes, I will have tried that, and I will reinstall the operating system.
That is how you have to check. Did you turn off and back on again?
Yeah. I don't know how many other people use Post-it notes to monitor progress bars, but I do when I don't have the mouse available.
That's
The installer is one of those that takes over the whole computer, and you don't have the mouse anymore. So I don't have a mouse pointer to put on there as an index.
Understandable. Always fun when they do that.
Kind of keeping an eye on it.
Yeah.
Hey, look what I can do.
Look what I can do.
Oh, God, I am so boring.
Oh, that's all right. I was telling Chris, it's either this week or next week. We're installing a new operating system for the playlist at work.
Okay.
Which I've used that operating system, an older version of it, when I worked at the other television station, but it was an older version of it. And it's been just over 3 years since I have used it. So we'll see how that goes.
That's PLOS, the playlist operating system.
So let's see. My brain's trying to remember the name of it. I can't think of the name. My brain's dead.
That's okay.
But I mean, it's for televisions, so it's our playlist for the rundown and everything, so it goes to the proper commercial spot every time on there. So
Like automatic switching stuff to switch off of whatever the broadcast signal is and over to your pre-recorded commercials at the exact right time. And
Yep, and then you can just have all your commercial breaks in there, all your little 30-second, 12-second. Well, it goes 30, 20, 10, and 5 is the spots usually on the timings for them. So you get your length for your commercial break in there, and then which one's ever going to be, which time for each one. And so, yeah, you got to play with that and get that going. So get to relearn something, and hopefully not deal with glitches. Yeah, that's fun.
well, here's to hoping it all works.
Yeah. And one of the crazy things is one of my coworkers, she had she had gone to the doctor. The doctor admitted her to the hospital for radiocardic. She's been radiocardic she had been for like a week or so.
Okay.
And so now she's got a pacemaker. So
all right.
She won't be back for any of the training that we're doing.
Well, record it all. Surely there's a camera somewhere in the studio.
Well, we're not in studio, so.
Oh. All right. Well, get a tripod and an iPhone and record the session.
So yeah, that's going to be an interesting thing for her to jump in and try to learn. And usually I get there after she's been there. So it's not going to be a lot of fun for me having to try to fix any mistakes that she's made from not being able to learn it along the way.
Yeah. Is there printed documentation, or are there YouTube videos that one could turn to learn the software?
Might be.
If
So,
only you knew someone who could make a YouTube video.
if only. I think I know a guy in Texas. Maybe he could just drive up for that week.
I'll record it all on an iPhone.
with an ender in the background.
Yes. Hello. What's up? A little bit. What's going on? Yeah. What's up? What do you need? What do you need?
Over here now, Mass Sports, when they scan into WebNow, this is what it looks like. This is what ours looks like. They have to send me everything to upload for them because this is what appears when they scan and upload into WebNow.
Well, isn't that delightful?
Yes. It's been over a year. I don't mind, but they're starting to send me a lot more shit and I don't have time for it.
All right.
Okay?
All right. I'll see what I can do about it. You're welcome. I'm fixing things.
Now we have a PG-13 rating on this.
Sorry. My coworker who didn't know this was being broadcast to the planet.
That's all right.
Can you edit this? I should have muted it, but
That's all right.
all of a sudden somebody appeared in my workspace.
Word, people do that.
I actually had a guy at Lowe's who was helping me yesterday as I was getting a part picked out, and he used a couple of words that probably he shouldn't have used, but
Happens.
I got him before he'd gotten his coffee, apparently.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, it's okay.
Yep. Are you a Star Wars fan, Brian?
I like Star Wars. I also like crinkling bottles, so I'm sorry about the noise. Why do you ask?
So have you seen any of the trailers for the new Star Wars coming out?
No.
No?
I like Star Wars, but I haven't seen like the last 3 movies.
Okay. So the name of the new one coming out is Rise of Skywalker. Rise of the Skywalker or Skywalker?
It's V.
Is it the? Okay.
think
Rise
so.
of the Skywalker. And there's a new droid in there. It's called D-O.
All right.
And
What does do?
so they've kind of gone with the same concept that they did for BB-8, which is a sphere that rolls. Okay. And then so the sphere, you got your motors and stuff that roll it inside, but you have a shaft that comes up with a top that's got a magnet. So you have your magnet on the dome head for the other part. So
right.
It's held into place with magnets there, so it rolls with it. Well, DO is just a wheel itself. It's on one side that it actually comes up, and then it goes over up top that holds the head up on it.
Okay.
So I've joined the builders group for that one, just like I did BB-8. And hopefully at some point in time soon, I can try to print a DO.
Okay. Well, cool.
Hopefully it'll be a functioning one. I'm going to try not to do a static build, which static build wouldn't be bad, but if I print something, I'd like stuff that's functional for the most part. I mean, I've printed a couple things that are not super functional, but like I printed a Kirby because I like Kirby.
Okay.
Type of stuff. But most of the stuff I do with printing is practical printing. So get that going. I've got a bunch of other parts and from like RC cars and whatever that I've taken apart. So I've got the controller units and then the receivers and the motors for all of them. So my thought is I might take a couple of remotes for those and all the units and just attach them and get them in and just have my own little weird setup to get them to actually work properly with a couple different remotes and 3D, like take the receivers and all that and 3D print my own casing so I have a nice one-handed one to do.
Okay. Okay, so basically it's a wheel bot.
Yep.
A one wheel bot with.
It's got some servos and motors in there.
So it's a single wheel Pixar lamp.
Yep.
It's Luxo Junior on wheels, or on a wheel.
Yep. Pretty much. So, yeah. Let's see. Pop up.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, fortunately, balance bots are a thing and have been for a while. So
Oh yeah.
now, how would you get it to turn though?
That's actually the cool thing. Let me see.
You have like some reaction motors or something that have flywheels to.
Going to share my screen.
Recursion.
So this is it. So this is one side of it.
Okay.
Of the wheel. So you got your center wheel that goes. So you got your center wheel. So this goes over.
Uh-huh.
And these are individual side ones. So they've got motors and stuff on them. So the side ones are individually driven. So you can turn. So that moves back and forth there.
Okay.
And then it can tilt. And then up top, there'll be another servo that can kind of tilt it around. But each individual wheel right here, there's gears, so it's individually driven on each side.
Okay.
So you can push forward on both, like if you have individual joysticks, and it will drive it forward. Or you can see individual ones, and it drives that one wheel, that side of it. And then that's just how it moves.
Okay. Cool.
So that would be
neat.
Yeah, that would be it. So I thought it was kind of cool concept and everything. I mean, they've learned from BB-8 and how all that works, so they were able to make one like that.
Okay.
So eventually I plan on printing one. It's going to be interesting because I've seen them printing them on an Ender 3.
What's the diameter of the wheel, or of the largest part?
So it goes kind of like a normal wheel itself, like the most rounded part on the center is the widest part. So it goes kind of like that kind of shape. So what was it, like 230? I think.
That would just fit.
So obviously the center, the edge part is within the realm of the normal for an A8, and I could print it properly. But if I expand it, saying 230, so it prints up and out, because it has that room to do that. It's just not on the build plate. So if I have it centered in the build plate itself, and then just expand the volume of it, and then have it print that way, that it will actually print that piece that I needed to print.
Yeah. One thing that I've noticed about my Ender 3 Pro is that although the stated print volume is like 220 by 220 by 250,
Yeah.
The bed is 235 by 235.
Okay.
And the firmware motion limits are something like 235 by 235 by 260, which is interesting because that 260 millimeter value will get the X arm up so high that parts of the extruder start to interact with the crossbeam.
Ah.
So that's not good.
No, it's not.
But the other thing about that is that it's hard to get something precisely centered on the bed.
Yeah.
So like I tell the slicer that the printer is 220 by 220 on the bed, and things are forward and to the left of the actual physical center of the bed.
I think it does the exact same thing for my A8 as well.
Okay.
Which
so what needs?
Usually I compensate by doing a test print to see how it's going to start laying it down. Then I stop it and I shift the file forward.
Yeah. Well, since I'm planning on probably doing vanilla Marlin on the Ender 3 so that I can have thermal runaway protection actually work,
Yeah.
I am probably going to do a little bit of experimenting so I can find the actual motion limits and bed size that will work, so that I can get the right values and get the slicer tuned in so that when something's in the middle, it's actually in the middle.
Yeah.
You know, I've got wasted space on the bed, and then if I take apart, like that squirrel cage fan that I printed, the only printer that I had that was really big enough to print it full scale was the Ender 3.
Yeah.
And it printed it still forward and to the left of center. But I had enough room to do it. It just kind of would impact with the priming line from the start of the G code.
Yeah, which I mean, it's not a big problem.
No, it's not a big deal because you just cut it off. But
yeah,
when I reprinted it in ABS, I actually had to stop the print and start it over after about 9 hours.
Wow.
Because when I was messing around in the Octoprint interface, I was trying to get some filament just extruded through it. And when you just tell it to extrude through Octoprint on the controls tab, it tends to run it faster than I really want it to run.
Yeah.
It tries to just shove it on through there, and that doesn't work well.
Yeah.
So
whenever I use Pronterface or the PrintRbot, it says centered on the thing, but it prints it back and to the right.
Yeah.
Never centered.
So anyway, I had slid the feed rate slider in Octoprint down to 70%, so that when I extruded, it would slow it down a little bit. And I was trying to basically purge the nozzle a little bit.
Yeah.
And so I didn't realize that that affected the entire print. So I was printing the entire thing at like 70% extrusion. So it was kind of porous.
Yeah.
And I'd gotten about that far up on the little fins on it, and they were real brittle. Like you could touch them and they'd wobble. So I was like, okay, something's wrong. That's when I discovered my error.
Yeah.
So I had to stop that, take that thing off the bed. So I figured, well, if I'm gonna, at first I thought maybe I did something wrong in the slicer. So I re-sliced it, and when I re-sliced it, I moved it back and to the right, trying to get it more centered on the bed. And I could get it to where it would fit, but then the slicer would get upset because it wanted to draw the skirt around it, and the skirt would fall out of balance. So it's like, all right, hold on a second, let me nudge it in another millimeter, try again. Nope. Nudge it in another millimeter, try again. Okay, now it fits.
Yeah. That's the fun part. All right, well, I'm going to have to end this and go get the little one to settle back down.
Okay. Goodbye, and goodbye, tiny human.
All right. Well, thank you for jumping on in and
Sure
talking
thing.
a little bit. And thank you, everyone who's joined in to view this little live stream. So,
Sorry about what my coworker said. All right.
So,
Bye, everyone.
thank you, everybody, and have a good day.